Hello and welcome to FM Review. I'm your host, Freddie Robinson, and this is a video that I'm making to show you how to set up and connect the soundbar to your television or your external device. On the back of the television, I have three ways I can interact with the audio out for my soundbar. This is the audio out for the auxiliary. This is the audio out for the digital, which is optical fiber. Connecting the television to the soundbar directly using the auxiliary or the optical is the easiest way because you bypass connecting other devices to the soundbar. You simply connect those devices to your television using your HDMI connections, your coax cable connection, or your component or composite if you have that on your television. The way that I have the soundbar connected to my television is using the optical in on the soundbar and connecting it to the optical out on the television using this optical cable. And so I'll go ahead and connect those. Notice that the optical cable has a specific shape and will only go into the input one way. And here's a close-up of the optical cable connected to the optical input on the soundbar. And here is a close-up of the optical cable connected to the output on my television. And now I will turn the power on to the soundbar and use my source button to select digital in, which is the optical cable. And it's just that easy to connect the soundbar to the television using the optical connection. Now I will connect the soundbar to my television using the 3.5mm auxiliary cable. And you may be familiar with these because they're used with MP3 players and phones and other audio devices. I'm going to locate the audio out connection on the back of my television. And now I have connected one end of the 3.5mm auxiliary cable to the television's output, and I'll connect the other end to the input of the soundbar. Now I have located the auxiliary end connection on the soundbar, and I will connect the 3.5mm cable. And you can see that the soundbar is now connected to the television using the auxiliary cable that was included with the soundbar, and you see how easy it is to connect this straight out of the box without any additional cost. Now I'll turn power on to the soundbar and select the auxiliary input by pressing the source button. And now the auxiliary is set on the soundbar, and you have the connection between the soundbar and the television. And now I will connect my 3D Blu-ray player to the soundbar using the optical input the same way that I did my television. The optical connection can be used with this soundbar and any other device that has an optical digital out, including consoles, cable boxes, DVD players, or other Blu-ray players. On the back of my Blu-ray player, I do have an optical digital audio connection right here, which looks like the same connection that was on the back of my television and on the back of the soundbar. And I will take my optical cable and connect it to the port on the Blu-ray player. And next I will connect this to the soundbar. And here's a close-up of the optical cable connected to the optical input on the soundbar. And now I will turn the power on to the soundbar and use my source button to select digital in, which is the optical cable. And now I will connect the Blu-ray player to the soundbar using the HDMI connection, and then putting the HDMI connection from the soundbar to the television so I can get audio and video. And first I will connect my HDMI cable to the HDMI port of my desired device. In this situation, it is my Blu-ray player, but this can be done with a console, PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, or the Xbox One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 360. So you have the first step of connecting the HDMI cable to the Blu-ray player, and next you want to find the HDMI in connection on the soundbar and connect the cable from the Blu-ray player. And now you have the connection between the Blu-ray player or any other device and the soundbar. And now you have to use a second HDMI cable and a second HDMI connection. This one is labeled HDMI out and it says TV in parentheses. This will link the soundbar to the television. And now I have the HDMI cable connected in the out of the soundbar, and it will be going to the television. And now I'll take the other end of the HDMI cable and plug it into one of the connections on the back of my television. And now I have connected this. And here's a picture of the soundbar where you have two HDMI cables connected passing through the soundbar into the television. This will allow your Blu-ray player or other device to play sound through the soundbar and get audio and video out from the television. Now you can power on the soundbar and select the HDMI input for the soundbar. And now I'll turn power on to the soundbar, and I will use the source button to find the HDMI connection. And now you have your connection completed. To access and adjust your equalizer and subwoofer, simply press the equalizer subwoofer button on the remote. And you're instantly taken to treble, bass, and subwoofer. You can adjust the treble, bass, and subwoofer by pressing the forward or reverse button on the remote. By default, the treble is set to 0, and it can be increased to +3 and decreased to -3. To change from treble to bass, you would just press the button again, and now bass is highlighted, and change with the forward and reverse buttons. And you can adjust the bass to +3, or you can decrease it to -3. And the same can be done for the subwoofer volume. This can be increased to +6 or decreased to -6. And now that all this hard work has been completed, you can enjoy this Samsung soundbar. Just remember to subscribe to keep more awesome videos coming your way. And as always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below.
3, 2, 1, action!
That is all that's needed to this is all that's necessary. No, this is and this is no, what do I want to say? What do I want to say now? All these cables and wires get me confused.